Hello, this is Nerd Commando, your global expert on fun, and it's time to capture the Defect A10 playthrough or die trying. So what we see here is the grade option, and grade is usually good. Well, lead paperweight also can be good, but let's see this. Well, this road has an early enough shop. Yes, then there is an elite, but with a shop nearby that should be manageable, and not the biggest but not the worst amount of campfires. So suppose, just like random relic is way too random, it's too much gacha, and the color cards are also pretty cool. The choice is actually pretty big, but they can be heavily hit or miss, whereas with the gold, once we arrive to the shop, we have a bit of maneuvering space, and that maneuvering space is something that I enjoy a lot. Now, what I don't enjoy is okay, it was a bit of a drum roll because if both lightnings hit the rightmost one, we took a lot of damage, but we had to risk a little, so that didn't happen, and that didn't happen. So next, we have the darkness, and darkness, it seems pretty nice, but it's a bit slow and greedy. It's just that I'm finding that Ascension 10 is incredibly limiting in terms of what can you do, because if you play cards that have no immediate impacts, you're taking extra damage in each and every of these combats. If you take extra damage, your rest cannot be dedicated to upgrading cards. If you don't upgrade the key cards, your deck doesn't really progress, which means you are in a slow downward spiral, because then you continue to keep damage and nothing ever changes and you die. So we don't really want to be playing slow, we want to be playing fast. So darkness is very cool, but without the upgrade it's way too slow. Not to mention that darkness also heavily depends on dual casting, and now that we have the grid, the dual cast power is slightly diluted, and we have a thick deck anyways, so darkness is probably a no-no. Focused Strike is an okay early game option, but Gunk Up is probably even better early game option. And I guess we try to do the status deck here. So freebie, Centennial Puzzle, and Cash, do not mind if I do. Here, the chosen choose is too much hit points, so let's go for the random common cards instead. What's that gonna be? What's that gonna be? Unfortunately, no status synergy, but we can always use Charge Battery. And in terms of the early game survival, I think Sweeping Beam. You seriously? Well, it's either Sweep and Beam or Go for the Eyes. Both are decent enough. But, well, you see, whether Go for the Eyes or Sweep and Beam is better, it heavily depends on what we encounter. So versus us is the Lagavulin Matriarch, which, well, of course, we could say that versus Matriarch, the Gang Up is not the best choices, but we'll be searching for the ways of dealing with that. Oh, we will. So that is a worry for the future. We could also just go into, well, with the Uproar, it's a bit of a gamble. Okay, let's go for the Ice. Then we just charge battery and gunk up, prevent the damage, do some, oh, here it allows us to have a nice turn without getting any damage whatsoever. I'm just thinking, no, I couldn't have killed it this turn. There was no way. And now it's double zapped on the next turn. Oh, so fight through, but fight through is very radical. Fight through is very radical. It's great in a status deck. I suppose we do try to do a status deck, but status deck is all about getting the key pieces early on, and the key pieces are either uncommon. We have 2 out of 35, so it's really either exhaust, that would be 1. Or that's about fuel making, that would be 2. And that's also about rare flak cannon. So it's greedy as hell. But then neither, well, the uproar, we are not going for that deck already. Once you pick up your first 0 attack, the uproar kind of turns into a pumpkin. So there was also the glasswork, but glasswork also isn't really that much of an uncommon. I guess we have the grid, that's just gamble. With this merchant, we just go there and hope that something, somehow, it's not something, it's not somehow. Okay, that's sad. Anyways, what do? We remove a basic strike, or even, well, with the batteries and so forth, we'd rather remove a basic defend. We get the capacitor. Do we get supercritical? Supercritical is great when you have extra card draw going on, which we... But then fine, let's just get it, because one way or another, especially with the discount, it will get decent enough. Then it's either whether we get a relic or whether we get a salvo. Retain our hand. So salvo plus supercritical, that might be potentially good. Salvo plus fight through, I suppose, is something. Not too much, but it's something. But kinda greedy. Well, then it's still, of course, 12 damage. But we can also go for the Ornamental Fan. Now that we have the 0 strike, Ornamental Fan, once you get rolling, is pretty good. So long term, Fan is probably, well, it's close enough. Like here, Fan is definitely better. Of course, we still take some damage, but it's even a nice supercritical turn, because we just do everything we wanted to and have 1 mana to spare. Now this is not the bestest of turns, but whatever. So charge, battery, defend. So I only get 11, and that which way? Okay, this way I presume. And then zap is probably, well, it didn't really matter. It means we need to hold on for a bit longer. And then it's toast, so we get Focus Potion, which will matter a lot versus the Lagavulin, and we have the Venerable Tea set. Got a boatload of damage, though. So now we have Synchronize, but right now we have only Electro Orbs. Not too amazing. Needs to be this. We have Boost Away. I suppose we go for the Boost Away as we try to gamble into this status deck. Question mark, another merchant. But nothing. Oh, it's more annoying than anything. It's another merchant, but there is the overclock, but it would be very annoying if we spend our cash and he had the way of dealing with our issues, but since he doesn't, Regal Pillow is nice. We can do this fight through. Okay, let's do this fight through, just to take no damage. It will bite us in the bottom a bit later, but we'll hope that it will not affect us. So Focus Strike, a Pro, or the Loop. It's, with the Lightning, it's only 3 damage. None too amazing. It does have some, well, granted it's 6 damage. It does have some lost in power, but I'd rather go for the Focused Strike. Loop is a bit greedy. And we need to live in the present. Okay, here it's a bit of a waste of a turn. Next turn is not that much better. We also cannot find any frost orbs, which with the capacitor and with how this character fight. Okay, now this is a great fight through turn. So then it's gonna be Zap and Gunk up. And we just live like there is no tomorrow. Because in this turn, in this combat, it sorta ain't. Now we have double energy with the super critical, but nothing to spend it on. But then the loop sweep, of course we can pick not, well, let's get a sweep and beam. One sweep and beam you do wish. Double energy is just too greedy. You see, with this class, you play too greedy and you die. Not to mention that for this particular archetype, double energy doesn't even do as much. Well, kinda, sorta. If we get our thing going, we will be drawing a lot. But then again, it exhausts, and sweep and beam is kinda... Okay, let's just hope that we high roll. Now is the time to smith, to be smitten, and I think an extra orb it is. Although we seriously, so boost away, Fox Strike, Gun Cup, and Strike. Now it's the capacitor, a bit optimistic one. And now there are some happy bombs coming. But the tough part is... Okay, let's go for the eyes. We can do only one skill here, so I think we'll just do the ample to reduce the overall incoming damage. Charge battery, strike and strike. And then just strike and strike for the win. So, okay, Echo Form, we don't even discuss this. Well, Echo Form... At least now we have supercritical and double energy to set it up. Of course, it doesn't arrive in that fashion, but we sort of maybe potentially can do that. We also have the puzzle, which, well, which does improve the chances for that. So go for the eyes, double energy, Echo Form. But it won't trigger on this turn. Just fight through, so we take no damage. And now... So how much damage do we have? That's 24. Okay, that's enough damage. Another Focus Potion. Exactly what we need versus the Lagavulin. Then, I'm not a big fan of any of this, but we do have this capacitor. We got to be filling it up, so Ball Lightning... For tempo, we rest then. Set up Zap. Set up Capacitor. I'd love to be playing Capacitor after the Echo Form, but that's probably too greedy. And we get our Echo Form. But maybe let's even do the double energy into Echo Form, because past Echo Form we don't really need double energy. And now we go one Focus Potion. I think we go greedy and do only one. Now, I don't really want to be okay, just charge battery. Go for the eyes. Fights through will be using only in the direst of cases. And right now evoking that orb will not do that much damage. And then I still don't want to be doing double fight through though. That's just too much clog. So let's just do double lightning instead. So the orbs are filled. Go for the eyes, get a bit of block this away. Then we can do this focused strike and get a bit of a block that away. And now we don't even need to do a fight through, right? It's only 6 damage for 2 wounds in the discard pile. Man, now that we have this... we try to stay flexible, but we're kind of punished for it. Okay, so strike and zap. in the sense that now the status is kind of whatever, and what we really want to do is just like echo form and play from that. Big energy echo form. That's the norm, but... Okay, now let's do the last gun cup before it turns into a pumpkin. Strike. Okay, now I think doing the double cast is not too bad. And of course now all our blocking becomes much sourer, but we hope that the electro cards will carry us. So more orbs, defend, gun cup, let's not even gun up our deck, and it's just dead. Okay. Well, Consuming Shadow is the worst rarity this class has, so definitely Consuming Shadow. Adaptive Strike is neat, but I had one attempt at A10, feels like way too slow. And you need to get it as your very first rare from the Niao. And from the Niao, if you get it maybe on a decent enough setup, it goes on. So I think we have two ways of dropping this baby down. I think just double echo form is better. You know what rhymes with echo? Snacko. I mean, let me think. Well, Snacko, of course, sucks so much with some of these, like with a boost away and with a super crit and with double energy and whatnot, but at the same time, it's amazing with the echo form. Like Cohen Bell definitely does nothing. Astrolabi is not that bad, of course, we can just get rid of the strikes. I'm just thinking whether Snacko will not be too ruinous, but at least it's Act 2 Snacko, so we know what to do. Okay, I mean... See a Snacko, play a Snacko, it's not a difficult thing to comprehend. Then... how do we play this with plenty of question marks? I'm gonna go there, and then we swerve. So what do we see here? Of course we see the dual cast, we see the zero charge battery. Now I need to do the fight through. Blah. But can't really avoid that. Yeah, Snacko rhymes with echo. It's exactly how it goes. Well, now it is there. At least one of them is. But now also, how does this thing do 19 freaking... what? I've been focusing the wrong one. So defend, and so... Yikes, that's just too painful. Now we can have double energy, or double supercritical. Well, with the double energy, it's gonna be going into 4-8, and with this, it's gonna be... okay, so this is better. Just go for the ice, defend. So much energy. But that initial punch was nasty. So with the Snacko, we obviously want to be slamming cards which cost 2 or more, so no. It's also a source of weakness. Sounds fine to us. Then, and here... double Snacko. I don't think that will do anything. So no. Let's instead... like Happy Flower. Well, all this, like, Anchor is just a bit of damage prevented here and there. We can... a bit of hit points is not that bad. An energy every 5 turns is much better than it sounds too. And we can even restore a teensy-weensy amount of life It's not like there is a proper shop nearby. So then... So region cards are probably the worst option because they have all this star and whatnot shenanigans. Necrobinders are also so, but then again, Necrobinder has some nice expensive cards since we're Snacko, and Silent has much worse expensive cards. So I think Necrobinder it is. Let's see what the rare is. I hoped for the size. I hoped for the size instead. It's a trash tier. Eidolon is not that, I'm afraid. Yeah, of course, it has some very nice expensive cards, but of course we're not getting them. We can do the Dirge, but that's, come on. Not even a Reap. Can we... I wonder, can we restart? I want a refund! I want a refund! Yes, we can. I haven't done this. So let's see if Silent, well, fan of knives. But then it's a power, it's self-exhaust, so it's not that bad. Footwork, it's great. And Deflect. So, and if we go for the Regent. If we go there... Well, the guards are not that... I'm invincible. But all in all... Whatever. So we should have gone for the Silent. But I guess let's just honor the pick. And just skip. Usually the Silent is better. Simply because she features, you know, simple cards. Simple cards are good. So do you want to boost away to take no damage or strike to do more? I think strike to do more. Now, Echo form for sure, double energy is probably not needed on this turn. Now let's see. I'd love to do Echo into... But Echo into Echo works, right? Because it becomes the first 3 cards you play. And so now this Gunk Up would be doubled up. And then we would do the Strike. That would be doubled up. And then Lightning will strike and his shield will be broken and he will be stunned. So that is a great play. I can just do a triple null. And see ya later. Okay, second capacitor, don't mind if I do. They're just excellent, excellent, excellent. Question marks, do I want another clumsy? Oh, it's better than losing health for 44 gold. Especially since we get a miniature cannon. Miniature cannon does not make our life easier, but miniature cannon is the dream with the gun up, because one upgrade in instead of 5 3 times, it does 8 3 times, so it goes to 24. It also opens us up some other pathways. So here we just utilize the power of our fan. Maybe we use the block potion too, so we don't suffer that much. Now it's an expensive echo form, but we have to be dropping it. Go for the ice, and then it's the capacitor, the defend. Boost away, or... Well, no, for sure. And focus at strike. But okay, we still do boost away, just so that it's 4 extra damage prevented. Now it's this beautiful echo into echo into echo play. Double defend, but... a singular fight through. Now it is this insane... Okay, our cards cost a bit expensive here, so We need this extra energy. We need this extra lightning. And a bit of gunking up. Now it's just 29 damage, but we have... Or maybe we don't have as much tough energy turn. Well, we do have double this, double that. And strike and defend. And we take some damage, but at least a nominal amount of that. And a lot of orbs are going rather nicely. So this is double, then... Strike is doubled, or dual cast is doubled. Strike is doubled, I suppose. Go for the eyes does something. And we are one evoke away from blasting it with the dark. But I don't think, even if I drink the focus potion, I don't think that changes that much. And now Dog has unseasoned top. Well, with Snacko that's a bit overambitious. So nothing we want to be getting here, unfortunately. No big bad boys. Here, let's smith that gunk up, because that's way too much damage. Sparkling Rouge, none too bad. Then, wow, great double energy. Just amazing. So we'll drop a freebie capacitor. What an icky turn. That's a serious turn off of a turn. Now we just do a freebie strike. We can do super critical, even though that doesn't really do much. But no, it does. It allows us to drop the null for the next turn. We probably don't need another capacitor right now, and we can do at least this amount of damage. Now we have this echo into echo. But, well, echo on the same turn is not as much. And we've missed the battery, so we'll have to suffer a little. Of course, after this turn, it will get easier, but that's after this turn, so a bit of a block. Gunk up with the lipstick for a lot of damage. Ball lightning and dual cast even. And on the next turn, it's probably toast. Energy potion is alright. Here we rest. Blah. Well, let's just use the double energy to play it out. So we can do the null. And a ball lightning and a basic strike. The curses though, well, the supercritical is here. So we can do echo form, we can charge battery, we can zap, we can do a significant amount to the chomper. And then do we just... it does 18. So we need like this defense and boost away. And we continue to be bashing on it. So now there is our favorite play. We have two more double casts. But not enough to finish it on this turn, right? So that was a bit overzealous of me. Let's strike that a 1 then. Just so the... You know, 1 lightning hits it, 2 lightning hits that, and, well, nothing really changes. And strike. Oh, come on. This is a big, very big defect. But right now, it's just defective. So Pharaoh or remove a card. Okay, you know what? I want to be getting Pharaoh because with the Snacko, every card has 25% chance to cost 0 mana. So it's a lot of the surprise value. Kinda unpleasant to be doing this, but what can I do? Now, we have 2 cards which would be repeated, but overall it's a difficult fight. Here the multiple costs don't work that nice. So a lot of orbs we can fight through to receive nothing on this turn and just like strike and strike. And let's save supercritical for later. Then on this turn we could be doing some damage, but let's play defensively instead, so double charge battery. Double null. Ball lightning and zap. And there isn't even a point to be doing the gunk up. But now it's the orbs that would be doing the talking. So double defend, and then repeated strike and this, and once again, let's slowly fry it up. Then we can do the capacitor, but let's first do double defend. Then, well, double capacitor doesn't even mean much. So first double focused strike and double focused strike and ball lightning and zap. And now even the gunk up, and this way we just missed a teensy amount of damage. And here is the upgraded ball lightning, which... But I don't want to be picking anything that costs 1 into the Snacko deck, not even upgraded. That's just not the plan. So here... What can we smith? We don't need to probably smith something. But what could that be? No, so even more weak. So it lingers. Okay, makes sense. Then, let's see what this power is. Play a power, gain energy, or draw a status, draw 2 cards. I think it's gonna be this. Pharaoh, capacitor, no, twice times with the is there any point of doing supercritical? Because it's not like we're gonna be needing that much later on. Hopefully not. So let's just go into the... Okay, actually this was dangerous. Went to the top zone. If we draw an echo form here, that would be slightly ruinous. So with Snacko, we can actually afford to draw 1 less card a turn. Yes, it does mean that our combo begins a bit later, but it's not that bad of a price to pay. And it's certainly easier than getting 6 to the face. Okay, delayed echo. It means we don't get much out of it on this turn, but let's do the zap. We can do double strike with Pharaoh. And then just gunk up for a bit of protection, and now we have the full echo form. Now we can do this double battery. We don't even need the boost away this turn, so double strike. and double dual cost. No, not double dual cost. But maybe that was premature. Yeah, that was premature. We want to brew up these dark forms a bit more. Then double zap, double ball lightning. Not sure about. Okay, double gun cup is still too much damage. Here, now we take damage because with double echo, sloth is lethal. It simply is. So here, certainly focus strike into focus strike. Or maybe, okay, let's not be too greedy. That's enough, we're getting nothing on this turn. Another focus strike. Slimed. Just a strike and go for the ice, so the weakness lasts a bit longer. And with those focus strikes, man, I probably could have gone greedy and not rested, but that would be a very close bet. A bit too close to my taste. Okay, and so here we can just do double ball lightning, and he eats the balls of darkness and dies. We even save the focus potion for the future. Actually, this is a tough choice. So it's either triple echo power or creative. But okay, triple echo is just safer. Just play it safe and steady. Enthralled? Well, enthralled, folly, or just a zero cost guaranteed echo. Of course, we also have capacitors and pharaohs, but then, well, you see, what I don't know is enthralled and snecko. How do they interact? How do they interact? That's a curious question. But then, even then, no, with echo, we still don't really want to be going there. We don't want to be risking. Well, you see, the problem, another problem is that there is a 25% chance that enthralled is 3 mana, and that is truly ruinous. So now we don't want to go. Let's go for the Jeweled Musk. It's just, it's still in every power, it's 50% chance to get a freebie echo form, and I think that's a bit too much to ignore. Then how do we arrest here? Something like this. Well, this spot has plenty of question marks, but not too much rest. But I suppose that's agreeable. Then, well, Pharaoh is still not that bad. Pharaoh, capacitor, and just strike whatever we can. Now we get the echo form, but, well, now the supercritical is useful, because we can do this, and do we defend, I think, Nullin is just better here. Man, and this is a bad turn of events. So that's the worst luck possible here, but then again, we still can do double charge battery. We can do double go for the ice. Actually, lots of go for the ice. And a gun cap then. We cannot really allow this combat to go for too long. With how it scales. Of course, it's... Oh, now we have quad defend. Quad defend to absorb the damage, and then not a lot of other options. Let's play the triple strike for the prestige of it. Now with the double cost, and this, it is gone. Surely. Okay, I'll pick up the barrage. It's upgraded, and with the cannon, and with our potential to get 10 orbs, it's gonna be end with double cost. It's gonna be our finisher versus the bosses. Okay, echo form, capacitor, boost away, and defend. Oh, and then we still... No, and it... Ugh. What's wrong with this? It's just we drew 10 cards, it's just as bad as it goes. Even if we don't play the echo, this is just so bad. This is just so abysmally bad. So the no, like we can do a vulnerability potion, but even then the no would be 48, and that would be 10 more, or maybe just 9 more. 48 plus 9 is not lethal. How can you even play this bad for real? But that's still probably the best we can do. At least we get a fan and whatnot. Well, now you are here. How great. And now we have this gunk up. And strike and whatever, but that, well, I guess shit happens. It's too bad it happens on this. Okay, bulk up we do pick up. We lose 1 orb slot, but we will have some to spare and dexterity and strength. It does reduce our chances to get freebie echo a little, but freebie bulk up is also not too bad. So for all potions we... Well, one of these later ones could be. So do we gamble on... Okay, let's gamble that one of those later question marks is a merchant. Then draw favorite card starts of the combat, but more maximum hit points, or lose hit points, upgrade cards. We don't need to upgrade, but we also have 3 fights to go on. Okay, I actually need max hit points here. It's bad, it's sad, but at least it's echo form and the bulk up, and cannot do much else. Now it's the echo. So we'll have not even that much damage coming to us. But our hand is also not something that is... We're punished for this fight. Well, it did prevent some hit points here and there, but mostly it feels like punished. Let's be dealing with the bots. Guess exile the double energy away. Dual cost. Then the triple echo is a bit optimistic, but it's not like we can do so much block, and with the triple echo at least we'll do doubles for all these 3 cards. So whatever. This means that focused strike goes there, and then with the fan we get 1 point of damage. But now we have this 5 costs. So Pharaoh and double null. Alright, because Pharaoh is also multiple times. And, you know, Echo should really be played like the Pharaoh, so the counter goes down. Because right now I have absolutely no idea where we are. Well, okay, we don't have to have an idea, but whatever. Okay, compact I pick up because I do have some of these status cards, and it's also great versus the test subject. Freebie Echo. Also have to do Pharaoh. Maybe not even a capacitor, but just a gunk up. And dual cost. Then echo, echo. That was the first. The second would be bulk up. Would it be bulk up or would it be just bulk up? I'm just thinking how don't... Or would it be like bulk up? I'm just thinking, can we... So this is 32. Is it... But... Oh, this is 32 with bulk up. It would do 6 more. So 38 exactly. Okay. This one is dead and 11 block defend. We still get some damage, but at least we are prepped for the future. Now this is a mighty fine barrage. And mighty fine... Well, double energy thanks to the double play, it will block something. But... So it would put us at 4 energy. Or just... Oh, okay. With the double bulk up, we can just do this double defend. And then just double strike. And then just double ball lightning. And a simple... No, still double go for the eyes. I'm playing it to save, but... You know, that is helpful enough. Okay, so here we are probably overplaying it. Just this and it is done. Nothing to pick up here. Strawberry is whatever. Unfortunately, it's a fight, not a merchant. And we'll be picking up some damage to the dome. So double energy, this. Capacitor. Focused strike, ball lightning. Okay. We actually have the unseasoned top. Well, now we're clumsy, but that was a fun first turn. That was a fun first turn. The only objective right now is to make it to be on okay. Okay, so double echo, there we go. Double compact, not that bad. Double ferro. Double ferro for sure, because then it's just triple null. And triple null is extra block from here and 9 weakness. And we can do barrage. It does get into shape. And now we can double play pretty much our entire hand. Well, okay, that was optimistic, we don't have the mana for that, but we can do something. Okay, another capacitor is kinda sweet, but maybe a bit too much. Another compact, we'd love to. Although we don't have that much status cards. Okay, no, that would be greedy. We still need to assemble echoes fast enough. Like this. Bulk up, defend, and strike one of those. So now, what can we do? We can do double capacitor and double compact. But that would leave us in the damage taken zone. So that's probably a no-no. So let's just do double compact. Double, go for the eyes, there. And then one more card for the fan, and we are... Okay, just... Well, yeah, it doesn't really matter how we play it out, but just no damage taken. This turn, they don't even try to be doing anything. So we can do this double ball lightning. And double zap. But ultimately a very weird turn. Now it's 20 to the dome, but we can do this like... well, we can do double gunk up. So I just do double gunk up. Into double capacitor. Oh, we should have done double energy too, because this way we cannot... But, well, double energy doesn't work that way. Now it's another echo. And that's a proper echo. We can do a 3-mana compact, but it's maybe even worth it. Because now it is a graded fuel. So energy into mana. Now, do we just capacitate ourselves to the fullest? Yes, we do. And, well, let's exile supercritical. It doesn't matter that much. By this point, apply no to that X-bot. So maybe it's not that dangerous on the next turn. If it tries to strike, then, well, that's a tough turn. We have a 2-mana barrage. So many wounds. But cannot really do much about that. And here somehow we have a bunch of awful turns. Everything is just... Well, our deck is not super mega optimal for this stuff. So here we'll just have to take this extra damage. Then we have 4 double costs. Everything's also pretty expensive, so let's double energy. Double Pharaoh. Double gunk up. Double charge battery for the next turn. And it's gonna be triple strike. Another strike. Now we have all these beautiful wounds and whatnot, but now we can just do double no, double barrage. Okay, graded barrage we pick up. That's too much potential hit points. Lucky. So... Man, tough choice. Very tough choices here. So we can get 1 focus, we can get to dexterity, which for our endurance would mean a lot, or we can guarantee 2 0 cost cards from the deck. In our case it would be go for the eye, supercritical, boost away. None too shabby. The idea being we just compensate for that mushroom we've had to pick up. Or should we just be content with... Well, doesn't data disk even matter that much? Like, belt buckle is funky for sure. We get that because 2 additional dexterity is a boatload. Another option to consider, by the way, is the rocket punch. But it doesn't really mesh with anything else. Or do we just go power cell? Just that with the power cell we thin our deck. We can also remove, of course, one of the curses. But that would cost a wee bit extra. Well, let's get the card removal service. But maybe not one of the curses. Or ultimately you don't want to be removing clumsy, you want to be removing basic strikes. As they're the same kind of a cast, but better. Or rather worse. I can also buy Duplicator. It doesn't mesh too much with the belt buckle, but we'll just drink it versus the Dollmaker. So that is manageable. Okay, let's get the... Or maybe even synthesis, because it also makes sort of sense with the echo form and whatnot. Oh, they both make sense, but we can get only one. Okay, no, Rocket Punch still is probably better. Another question mark, just not the combat. Healing to full hit point. Well, we can heal to full hit point here, and then... Now it's just... 10. Vajra is alright. Here, much as we'd love to smith the Rocket Punch, we probably want to rest. And then Doormaker. Okay, nice. Early Echo form, so here just drink the Duplicator. Echo, Echo. Bulk up. And because it's Echo, Echo, it's bulk, bulk up. And just the Capacitor, I suppose. It's a bit of an early one, but we have one more, right? So we'll just double play the plus one. We'll still be almost at the maximum. And I just, like this turn this way, we get a very nice opener. Oh, it's pointless to be attacking him, but I will still do that. Then, I haven't actually... Okay, if you play attack or a skill, it is exhausted. Fucking hell. We also get... Well, we'll do our double echo. And we also get 0... let's do the super critical then. With double echo, we don't care. Attack or a skill. Well, I don't mind... I guess... Let's draw 2 more cards. Let's do 6 times the echo. And I don't mind losing some of these, really. Like the strike, the ball lightning, the zap even. We take some damage, unfortunately, but not a crucial amount. Here we cannot draw additional cards. But we do draw our initial 7. Okay, that's a nice turn. We have 6 double cards to play, so let's... It would still give us more. It would put it as 1 and then 4, so that's a mighty hopping +1 energy. That would be 1. Feral is 2. Defend is 3. Although I'm being over-optimistic here, we are not playing out our entire hand here. We could consume this lightning, but... Or we could just do double gunk up. Put some slime into our deck. Well, let's just do the damage. And now it is first card we play costs an additional mana. That's whatever. So let's do this double capacitor. Double charge battery. That's a nice charge battery. And now with a feral we can do a singular defend 6 times. That's nice. That was very nice. Then we play this defend, it exhausts, but play it we must. Else we take too much damage. No. I suppose it's fine. Strike. And just fight. Okay, and with the weakness and whatnot, we do not take too much damage this combat. So now... It's just double barrage for the win. Well, okay, triple echo power... Echo Snacko. This, I try to make my videos educative, but triple echo plus... Well, okay. We are boasting too soon. We are boasting too soon, because there is still a little friend of ours to deal with. So, echo form. And we will be taking some damage because there isn't much we can do. Just like barrage and gun cup. Okay, now it gets a bit better because, you know, echo, echo. Do we do double? Let's feed him a little. Because we do need this energy, and to play it out on this turn. Now, double Pharaoh, I suppose. Let's drop it while we can. Double Pharaoh, triple strike. Barrage. This freaking zap. Okay, so charge battery. Now we take a dozen here. So do we just barrage and strike? Or do we... Well, zap is even more expensive. Or do we... I don't really want to be... Took a wee bit much damage versus this one. But now we have double bulk up. We kill it with our lightning orbs. Then compact. Everything else, unfortunately, don't matter anything here. So into the next turn we go. Tough turn. Because Echo is not upgraded. And I cannot really do much about it. But I need to cast it here. Then we just get this. Oh, okay. I forgot that we have 9 dexterity. With 9 dexterity, it gets a bit easier. So actually no damage this turn. And we get a lot of double ice plays. Well, it only fits. This thing right now has... I mean, it probably has ice in this... Well, let's assume it has ice, so it has 4 ice minimum. So if you go for its ice, you need a lot of that stuff. Then, oh, bloody hell. But what can I do? But still... Okay, we still take no damage. Now we have compact. It's 33. Man, I need to drop this. Okay, I actually can. I have 5 echo cards. I can do... Unfortunately, this compact does not compact anything. But... Okay, so defend, it's enough. And then just double capacitor. We can do a mighty fine barrage. Well, every hit point matters. Every hit point matters. And then... I have 5 cards to double. But we'll actually need to... Well, no. 7. So let's do double capacitor. Here, unfortunately, we do not have much luxury. We need to do double charge bet. Okay, actually, I don't want to be doing double fight through. I'd rather take 13, because that's just too much bet status. And so, we'll go heavy on the nose. That's Echo Form plus Return. And eventually the barrage. Oh, with the weakness and with the Ornament of Man. Fan is freaking... Well, you see here, of course, it's a bad... it's very bad. It's a fun Let's Play in terms of just how freaking crazy it gets. It's a bad Let's Play as a learning example, because in reality, we get this Pearl, which is actually a strong pick. We're able to buy the fan of it, right? Ornamental fan. It just... If only it had counted how much damage did it absorb, but we would be freaking dead without it. It just meshes with this Echo play so much. And then we have the royalty set, and the pillow, and the Snecko with Echo form makes sense. And then the cannon does something, and then Sparkling Rouge and Jeweled Musk with triple echo. And then Mushroom is not, well, kinda with Jeweled Musk and echoes and this expensive stuff, it's fine. And then Strawberry is fine, just for all this bulk up. And then Belt Buckle is just this dexterity, which also keeps us alive, because that's a lot of dexterity. And then even Vajra carries something right now. So here, what can we do? It's intangible. It's intangible, so do we boost away so Rocket Punch costs 0? Because otherwise it's a tough turn. Or do we just... well, let's just focus at Strike, so our Darkness Orbs charge a bit better. And having Slimed... Ooh, Compact. That was nice. Double Fuel. Then we have the Snow, but that's maybe a bit... Let's save 2 energy for the next turn. Process the Slimes. I guess punch it once. And now, what can we do? So, it's not in the zone of killing us yet. Now we have 5 cards to double. Like this would be enough to survive, so... But I think we'll need to use the double energy. So 20 energy. A bit of this. I wanted to say a bit of that. What happened? Well, that was 9 orbs, and that was 9 orbs, and it does 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 12 plus double. Okay, right, so that was 9 times 18 damage. Oh no, actually that, and two times. So 18 times 18 damage. Yes, we love them at 18 for sure. And 18 times 18, that's pretty close to 400. Well, that's a bit less than that. I don't recall exactly, but that's like 18 times 20 minus 30. So that's 324, right? It would take him from 0 to 0. Alright, alright. I've planned to play a bit longer, but the deck said no. Well, that was surely fun, but that's just mega rare. Mega rare. Well, I don't compare, so I don't complain, but can't compare either. So, just to take a look at the seed. Here is it. Here is it. Well, folks, that's your lesson for this one. Just have Echo Forms and Snecko Echo for the win. Even with the suboptimal deck, although, well, it's just like, it's suboptimal in a sense that, so the early gun cap for the survival is alright, because you just need, like, the gun cap, it did its damage and it's killed the enemies before they dealt lethal damage to us very frequently. Not a mistake. Well, the puzzle is alright. So here we chose to get this charged battery and go for the ice. The weakness from the ghost eyes mattered. Charge battery mattered. Well, fight through was a bit questionable, but then it also here and there it did absorb the vital points of damage, so it's hard to say. It certainly buffed us more than Glassworks and Uproar. So here, the Ornamental Fun and the Capacitor Supercritical remove the Defend. All of these are proper. All of these are proper, for sure. Next and here, boost away. Well, if we knew we were going for the Echo, we wouldn't be getting it. Yes, of course, but at that point, trying to go for the status build, it made enough sense. So, if you replay this from a seed, then of course you do skip the boost away. Then, at the Merchant we had no cash, so we couldn't really do much. Once again, if you replay it from the seed, then maybe you don't get something right here. But that's, well, that's just replay. So, like, optimize your cache so you don't get, like, try to not get the super, but super critical was cheap. It's not like, and it's not like we can get into the skip and the ornamental fan. So honestly, here I don't really see what could change. The regular pillow, huge luck. Focused strike. I mean, focus strike was still alright. Well, it didn't do that much. Well, I guess, but it's also a bit difficult to follow whether or not it did as much. But, well, if there is a skip here, it's definitely the focus strike here. I think, well, if we knew it was Echo, we could also uproar, right? Is this 2 energy card? But that the chance of getting this Echo is 7.5% or so, so it's not something you can bank on. It's not like you see the Echo form, you say, okay, I'm going Snecko. Not without a seed. Not without a seed. So double energy, it made sense. It even was profitable enough with the Echo. So great, the capacitor, Echo form. Well, you could say that Ball Lightning after Echo was a bit so-so. But then again, it did the damage it did fill for the barrage. It wasn't amazing. But it sort of worked. So here, obviously, Echo, and afterwards, I don't think, well, afterwards we talk, well, you could say the biggest question mark is gifting so much cash for this freebie Radic, but the Anka, the Mango, all of these did absorb something, because ultimately we were not in the bestest of health for the majority of the playthrough, and who knows where would we go without all this small stuff. We didn't even get another prop. Well, no, we did get a proper shop. But okay, that's... Now we're getting too much into the dubious zone. But on a glance, I don't see how these 200 coins could be so amazing in this shop. Well, Whetstone with a cannon would be a bit better. Okay, Whetstone with a cannon, just great. Any attacks, it's still good. That's true. So that's a point of contention. I'll give it to ya. Well, if we guessed right with this event, of course, it would get a bit easier. Well, not that much, but, well, but get it to mana power, which would do a bit of AU damage, but not that much in the long run. And I guess the biggest reward would be the dexterity. Otherwise, we didn't draw that much to enable the Eidolon. The Oblivion at 0 mana didn't really matter. The Deathbringer was at 2 mana, but we have the now to do sort of that thing to spread the weakness. And outside of the Doom, outside of that synergy, it's whatever. You could argue about the Grave Blast. But it cost 1 mana, and so it has, like, you know, just it's for the more, well, theoretically, if you have to Grave Blast and Snecko, you have the infinity chance, because the Snecko makes it free while it lasts in the graveyard, right? So you just need 2 Grave Blasts. Snecko makes both 0 mana, they're both upgraded, and then you just Grave Blast into Grave Blast. That's very cool, but it's only 1 Grave Blast. Well, we still could be using it to return whatever good stuff that it costs for 0 mana. So Grave Blast maybe should have been considered a bit more. But then at this, for this particular, well, I guess you have Hologram or something, and it's still, we hadn't really had the potential to upgrade it. So yeah. Okay, but later on it's probably all more or less correct, and even these advanced plays, it's not like there was major mistakes, just slight ways of improvement. Okay, anyhow, this was a crazy run. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and have fun playing games.